Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. Have a bit of a chat while I go for a drive here through the Murcia region. I'm on my way to Murcia city. I think I'm about 70 kilometers away from Murcia city. I've just passed the turnoff for a place called Murcia, which is a wine growing area. Maybe I'll stop there tomorrow, not sure. But on my way to Murcia for a day or two to do some recording, to check Murcia out and see what that city is like. And I've only ever been to this part of Spain once before. I travelled to Almeria a couple of years ago and we stopped in Murcia on the way back from Almeria. But from what I can see, this is a very agricultural area. Lots of fruit trees around the place. I saw almond trees back there, I think in the Albacete province. Ellín in Albacete is famous for its almonds. So lots of almond trees and in bloom at the moment, given the fact that we are, I think it's around the 15th or 16th of February today. So the almonds in bloom. And as I said, off to Murcia city. I don't think I'll go to the coast. I'll see what my time schedule is like tomorrow, but might not be able to make it to the coast, so only in Murcia city. But I'm interested to see what that city is like, because to be honest, Murcia is one of these regions in Spain that sort of flies under the radar. You don't hear too much about Murcia unless it makes the news for the wrong reasons. For example, political scandals or problems with the Mar Menor, which is the ecological disaster down there in Murcia, or here in Murcia. Every now and again it makes the press because of some ecological problem or another in that Mar Menor, fish dying or something like that. So we only normally hear bad press about Murcia. Now weather-wise, it's around 15.5 degrees, and that's what I'm expecting for Murcia, around 16, maybe 17 degrees Celsius. It's going to be good in Madrid this weekend, so I'm not sure whether I've made the right decision weather-wise to come to this part of Spain, but I think in general Murcia, 21 minutes away as we can see there, I think in general Murcia has a very pleasant climate. Now what's been happening on the channel recently? Well, lots of discussion related to electric vehicles, a video that I put out the other day related to electric vehicles, lots of comments, lots of debate about that topic. Of course, as we know, the European Union from 2025 has said that people will no longer be allowed to, or able, I should say, to buy diesel or petrol engine cars, only electric vehicles, or whatever vehicles are around in 2035. I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen in 12 years' time. And lots of people saying that this is not realistic, it's something that can't be done, the time frame is too short. It's going to affect other markets as well if the European Union only makes electric cars, with the big car manufacturers here, the Volkswagens and the Peugeots and the Citroens and things like that. So we'll see what happens with regard to that. And I did a walk around video the other day in my neighborhood, and it was interesting to see that there aren't many places to charge electric cars currently. And on my way to Murcia today, I passed through 3 autonomous communities, I think. Madrid community, Castilla-La Mancha, and of course into Murcia, the region of Murcia, which is an autonomous community. I haven't seen too many petrol stations that are offering electric charging points. I thought I might see a couple at least, but I haven't seen too many. So I think if you are driving with an electric vehicle, doing a long trip like this, around 400 kilometers I think that I'm doing on this trip, not too many places to stop off on the way to charge your electric vehicle if indeed you need to. And this has sparked my curiosity over the last few days. I've been looking up the different types of electric vehicle and the range that you can get with that electric engine, and I think the maximum is around 600 kilometers for an expensive electric car, and I think the average for all of the electric cars that are available in the market is around 342 or something like that, so don't quote me on that. So a trip like this one to Murcia from Madrid, around 400 kilometers I believe, you'd be struggling to do it on a single charge. You would probably have to stop on the way. And if you went further, if you went to a place like Alicante or Valencia or somewhere like that, you would also most likely have to stop. So the infrastructure is not in place yet, but we're hoping that it will be by the time this electric vehicle revolution comes in. And we saw the other day, or at least I said the other day, that the Chinese have lots of electric vehicles ready to enter the European market. So they, no doubt, will flood the market in coming years if they're not doing so already. And European car manufacturers will have to scramble, let's say, to regain market share if they do indeed lose market share. Interesting. Speaking to somebody yesterday, and he told me that in his theory, or in his opinion, not everyone's going to have an electric vehicle. It'll be impossible. To make that amount of batteries, I don't think is realistic. So what he said was that people will share vehicles. So for example, if you want to drive around a city, which you can do now in big cities in Spain, Madrid, Barcelona, you share a vehicle. You just download an app, you find out where a vehicle is, if it's available, you open it with the app, and away you go. And of course you pay by the minute, or by the 15 minutes or 30 minutes or however long you pay for that car. But the problem with that is that there's no intercity options available yet, but I imagine that that will come in the future. So car sharing, ride sharing, will probably be the thing that people do, and the idea of owning your own car might be a thing of the past. It's been the norm for the last few generations. Owning a car, a big expense. Cars can be the second biggest expense that people have in their lives. That is, if you don't send your kids to a private school in Australia, that would be the second biggest expense, apart from your house if you buy one. But for a lot of people, the majority, I would say, buying a car is one of the biggest expenses that they will have in their lifetime. And if you take that out of the equation, people will have more money in their pocket to spend on ride sharing, renting cars and things like that. In fact, the car that I'm currently driving, this vehicle here, is what they call in Spain a rental car. It's a long-term rent. I've got a 3-year contract with this car. It costs me about 11 or 12 euros a day, so it's not a lot of money, and I'm able to use the car to do whatever I want to do over that 3-year period. And at the end of those 3 years, I just hand the car back to the dealership, and they do whatever they want to do with it. I have the choice to get a new car, not have any car at all, or I can keep this car by paying extra money. There's a difference that you would pay if you want to keep this car. So that's the future, according to the person that I spoke to, and I tend to agree with that people won't be buying cars like we do nowadays, just simply because it won't be worth it, I don't think. But anyway, so renting cars, and one of the reasons that I am renting a car is because looking forward, if there are restrictions, whether it comes to driving in cities or restrictions, traveling with combustion engines, fuel engines, maybe the next car that I get will be an electric vehicle, or that's what the bank will offer me, or maybe a hybrid, which I think are going to be able to be driven, for a while yet. It's only the fully combustion engines that are going to be working their way out of the system. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go for this renting option, to check it out. And as I said, every 3 years I have the option to get my hands on a new car. So we'll see where the technology goes, what types of cars will be available in a year and a half when I change this car, and then looking forward maybe 3, 5, 6, 7 years, again, what cars will be available in the market and what will be the best choice for me to drive. So that's an interesting point as well. Yeah, so looking around Murcia, as I said before, seems to be a lot of agriculture. I went off the road a minute ago, off the main road, off this motorway, to set the camera up, and I entered into some type of fruit plantation. Lots of fruit trees waiting to go into blossom. So a very heavy agricultural place, this region here. And one of the problems is that they don't have a lot of water. They rely on water from other sources, other parts of Spain. I think the Tagus River is one of the rivers that feeds water to this area of Spain, and that's a political problem at the moment, as we have seen in recent times on the channel, certain autonomous communities in this country don't want to share their water, and Murcia, Alicante, Valencia are up in arms because they can't get their hands on that water because it doesn't rain here a lot. Now, I'm not far away from Murcia now. I'm not sure exactly how far away I am. I'm going to go into the center of Murcia city. That's where my hotel is, so I've got to find the hotel. Not sure what Murcia is going to be like when it comes to traffic, whether it's an easy city to drive around or not. Time will tell. And the idea is that, considering it's about 1:15 at the moment, the idea is to go to the hotel, drop the bags off, and then head out and get something to eat. Maybe record the lunch. Maybe I can get a menú del día here in Murcia. If that is the case, and I do record my lunch today, the video will be coming up shortly, not sure exactly when, but that is my idea today. So I think I'm going to enjoy Murcia weather-wise. 17 degrees Celsius now, so that's a pro. We're coming up into some more roadworks here, and I will say that there has been a lot of roadworks on this trip, a lot of roadworks. I'm being told to slow down to 50 kilometers an hour here, so that's what I will do. As I said, there's been at least 5 or 6 different areas on the trip here today that have been having works done to it on the road, and traffic slowing down when you go through those roadworks. So, but hopefully they will all be out of the way by the time summer comes around or the spring, and people start heading to these parts of Spain more often from places like Madrid or to Alicante, as I said before, popular destination for people from Madrid, so they all head there for their weekends and summer holidays. So hopefully those roadworks will be out of the way by then. Now, Murcia, A30, not far away. I'm going to have to put my GPS on here, my Google Maps on the screen here. Start, and let's see where it takes me here. I get a little voice telling me where to go, but that doesn't seem to be working, so unfortunately. But anyway, now I'm going to wrap this video up because I don't want to be filming when I'm driving. I don't want to be talking to the camera when I'm driving in Murcia city, so I might just film the drive through the city for another video. But questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you know this part of Spain, if you know the Murcia region, please let us know your opinion of it if you live down here, because I know there's a big expat or foreign resident community in Murcia. Let me know what you think of the quality of life down here, and I'll be putting a specific Murcia video out over the next few days, so stay tuned for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you on the next one. Hasta luego from Murcia.